Hello everybody, my name's Steve. I'm here today with this fish, and I have these friends that don't seem to know how to fillet a flathead, so every night one gets caught, it winds up on my stove to be filleted. So what I wanted to do today was make a nice tutorial on how you turn this flathead here into delicious flathead nuggets for the fryer. My cameraman will approach. Here's the fish. This is the upside of it, the head, back fin, meaty sides. And this is the belly. This is the underside of it. You'll see the adipose fins and the anus. What you need to do is get your knife. Make sure it's nice and sharp. And what you want to do, bring the camera over here. You want to start by ringing around the fish's belly, up under its chin and everything. Basically what we're doing is getting the fish ready to cut the head off. So what you want to do is just keep it up as high as you can. Don't worry, when we take the head off, there's going to be some more meat we get off of that. But right now we're just getting it ready to come off. So bringing it there. That looks good. Okay, we got it wrung under the fins. Yep, that looks good. And what we're doing here, we're just getting up to the point underneath its jaw here where we kind of cut over. And what this will do here is open up the belly. Now we gotta find, there it is, the back side of the belly here. Now when we lift this up here, you're gonna see that's all big, nice chunks of meat here. So we'll get to that. That's something we'll get to later. But look at that. See that meat? It's good meat. Now, what I do next here, guys, cameraman, is we got to cut this fin off so we can get the belly off. So what you kind of do, get your knife, poke it in there, keep it up, and just get your finger in here and start working this fin out. Real easy, nothing hard. Watch your fingers, don't cut them. Step one of getting the belly meat. Now the belly meat is the crown jewel of this whole fish. Not to be confused with a gray, ugly ass channel cat that tastes like piss. These are flatheads. They're a little better fish. Now what I do is stick my knife in the butthole and cut that open. Just kind of get that cleaned out. Get that ready to go. We'll trim that up more too once we get the meat off of it, but just to get started here. I'm gonna get that open now. Make sure your knife is always sharp. A dull knife is a dangerous knife. Get that blade honed. Here we go. So now we have the neck wrung, the head is all wrung. We got the belly ready. So what we do, so this back hole here, we basically just run the blade up the center of the stomach. What that's going to do is essentially turn our belly meat into two big chunks. Let's kind of cut down here a little bit too. That opens it up. And what we'll be able to do is get the meat off. Now what you're going to do now, that's on its back, is you're going to get the guts out. Now, a flathead doesn't have a whole lot of guts, but what I do here is I work it up from the butthole, and I just kind of trim along the back meat, and they just kind of come right up. Real simple here. Not rocket science. Not brain surgery either. Well, closer to brain surgery, I'd say. This is like a deer. You got to get the diaphragm cut and everything. Get the guts up. A little air sac that likes to stick on its back, so you gotta get that off. But once that's up, then the guts are gonna come right out. So now we just start yanking shut. There we go. Just like field dressing anything else. In fact, I don't know if fish have a diaphragm. They probably don't. But what you want to do here now, you're getting up to its throat. You know, the back of its head here. You do just cut that off, and there go the guts. There they go. Now, what you got is Nice big pile of meat. Now there's nothing else you gotta do but get the meat off the bones. So what you do, you fold it open so it looks kind of like a butterfly. And we'll clean the rest of this off once we get done. But here's what I do now. I turn it over and get the belly meat flaps out like wings. Now this is the way an old river rat taught me how to do it, moose. But once you get the flaps out like this, it's really easy to take off the belly meat, because what you need to do is bring the camera up over here. You're going to see the back and the sides here, and the meat is just right here on the side. So what you need to do is just run your knife parallel to the side of the fish here, all the way to the back. And what that's going to do is cut that meat off with no bones. Your ribs are still here. We'll get them addressed later, but this leaves you with a nice big chunk of belly meat. Watch your fingers, boo. There's one side. Boom. Now here comes the other side. Babe, get the camera over there. What we're doing is the same as the other side. We're just cutting parallel to that fish all the way down. And then we got another, boom, slap of meat. Okay. So now we basically got a head and his sides. See, the belly meat's all gone. These are the ribs. There's some chunks of meat behind these ribs that we'll get when we're done. Basically, anywhere there's meat on a flathead, get it, because it's good. So right here, there's some nice chunkies. We'll get them later. But what I like to do now, and Christine ain't gonna like this, but basically I get the head broke off. There it goes. And this, getting this out of the way makes getting the sides off this chunk of meat easier, because then you don't have a big wide head and a little piece of meat. Works really nice with bigger flatheads, but this year's been slow and this is what we got. So get that head off. There we go. Now, don't put the head in the gut bucket. There are these nuggets of meat right here by its eyes. I'll show you how to get them in a second. Those are the butcher's cuts. We like those. We eat those. So kind of put that over here for later. Okay, so now what we have here is this nice, easy to manage chunk of meat. There's two fillets here. There's one on this side, one on that side. So now what I do is start here and get filleting. It's just as easy as filleting a walleye or anything else. Just run it up the back, and then sometimes here, you know what to do here, but we open it up here, and here's the back. And just run it parallel. We fill the ribs, go around that fin. There we go, around the fin. And we start getting the meat off. Now what you need to do once you get it done up there is run the knife through here. Just get it off just like any other fillet. But look at the whiteness of that meat. You don't waste this. It's good eating. Now, my fingers are going to go fast because I've done a bajillion of them. But you should be able to run the knife right up over the ribs. Here are the ribs. And then get the meat off the top of them. Now, when you get done with a flathead, being there ain't much guts and there ain't much bones, they're mostly muscle, you'll have a big pile of meat, not a lot of guts for the cats to eat. So, here we go. Here we go. Now, if you're filleting a flathead, I usually recommend 10 to 15 pounders. They're really good meat to meat proportions. Like, everything's good on them. But don't let anybody tell you a 30 pounder ain't a good eater. I've eaten plenty of them too. All right, look at that side. Looks like a steak. Bam. Okay. So now what we do, you see, here are the ribs. But there's still this chunk of meat down here we'll address that. But here's the one side cleaned up. I'll flip it over here. Get my knife a little sharp in here. Look at the other side here. Now again, if you screw something up, I haven't done in a while, but if you do, go back and cut the meat off, because again, any meat left on the bones is a sin, because there is a lot of good meat on these things, and if you miss it in the first go around, just go back and lop it off. It'll still bread and fry. I'm going to flip it over on the side here and there we go. And run this right. Actually, I think that's the adipose fin here. I think those are the anal fins. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. So here we go. Everybody always thinks this little fillet here is the best chunk of meat on a flathead, but they'd be wrong. It's these guys. Don't tell anybody. Those are for the knowledgeable people to eat. These are for your uncles to eat. Everybody else you invite over. Definitely you get the belly meat. Boom, piece number 2. So now, I usually go over it, see if there's any chunkies I missed, because again, sometimes you miss a chunky. Now, this ain't a bad chunky, it's not a big one, but some people might just say, fuck it, throw it away, but I guarantee you put some cornmeal on that and put in some peanut oil, you're going to want to eat it. There. Now, let's get to them belly ribs here. Taught my brother Matt this. So when you get everything cleaned off here, look at that thick side of meat there. That's meat still. And again, it's a flathead, so cut it off. Kind of like when I went around the ribs on this side, only you're doing the bottom side of the ribs. It ain't nothing hard. You just gotta run your knife down it, feel the ribs, and work it off. And all of a sudden you'll get this nice inside tender right off the back of the ribs there. That's a good nuggie there too. That's butcher's keep number 2. This nuggie I don't tell anybody about. I am the wife. Honey, close your eyes. Right there. That's a good nuggie. Bam. Meat pilot. Come back through the other side. The bigger the fish, the bigger the meat nuggie down here. So don't waste them. You know, you might think you're done, but get that shit off of there. Okay. Again, just work it up the ribs just like you would if you were cleaning the other side of them. You know, they're ribs. There's 2 sides to the bones. The top side, which we already got, and the bottom side, which we're getting. Now, a lot of times if you think you missed some belly meat or something, this little nuggie here is the belly meat you thought you missed. So going back and getting it's good. Now here's what your end should look like. It should literally be this. There should be no waste. This should be clean. These should be clean. When you get done, maybe steam it, pick it, make a soup out of it. I don't know, but that's all you need. Now, last thing is the head. So, well, you still got to skim the meat here, but the last meat we got to get off is the head nuggets. Now, if you guys ever catch walleyes, which I know you guys watching this video don't catch walleyes, but it's kind of like how you cheek nugget out a walleye. What you do is there's a bunch of meat here by his jaw. You got to get your knife in there, work it down till you hit bone, and parallel that knife with that bone till you come out right in front of the eyeball. Or behind it. It should be right by the eye. It doesn't matter where you come out. But anyway, cut that off. Get the skin off of that thing. You got the best nuggie on the whole flathead right there. Look at that. It's a freaking chicken McNugget. Go ahead and get the other side now. Look at that. Right in there it goes. Again, the bigger the flathead, the bigger the cheek nuggies. But there they are. Don't be ewed by the eyeball. Who cares? He's dead. Oh, I'm cutting the skin. There it goes. Okay. Now what I do is I usually grab that eyeball and I skin it down. Right there. Perfect piece of meat. Look at that. So that concludes getting the meat off. The head is butchered. All the body's removed. Everything's good here. So that's the throwaway pile. Now what we got are these bigger chunks of meat. We got to skin them. You're thinking, that's a big piece of meat to skin with my knife. Well, a lot of times what I'll do, instead of approaching it as one huge hunk, I'll just do it in a chunk. I'll go down in the middle of the meat, turn your knife parallel, run it off. Look at that. Beautiful chunk of meat. Then what I'll do is I'll flip it. And this again is the belly, that's the skin side. Skin side down. Now you got this thing you can handle. You put your hand on there. Then I run the knife up parallel and get the other half of the belly meat. It ain't no different than skinning a walleye or anything else. Just take your time and get it right. Now if you leave a little meat on here, that's fine, because the meat next to the skin is usually the reddest. So try not to leave a lot of meat on the skin, but if you do, don't cry about it. There we go. And we're just doing the other side of the belly just exactly like I did the last one. Skin, belly. Look at that belly meat. Look at the thickness of that. And that's the best meat on the flathead. I mean, it just is. It is. And when you're skinning, just kind of angle your knife down and work your way up. All of a sudden, it just hops right out of there. Whoop. Okay, now we got these two fillets, and I do the same thing with these. I usually aim towards the middle here. Go up and skin it this way. There we go. Perfect back chunk. Then I'll go back down. Here's the tail. Go towards the tail and skin it the other way. Forget which way I had it now. Just take your time. You're not going to do it as good as me. But that's why I said always go back over the fish and get any chunks you left. Because really they're an easy fish to clean. I don't want any more excuses. Steve, you go to clean it. Midnight. No, you clean it. Here. And I'm just finishing up that other side here. There we go. Look at that. And you got a little skin on here. That's fine. You're going to go over these fillets before you fry them anyway. Well, being you guys are going to be eating it, I might not have, but I will. There's one chunk. Here's the last chunk. Again, go back. Hold this piece you got out. Just work your knife down that. There you go. Now, this red meat here, we'll get that all trimmed off. Don't worry about that. But that's it. That's how you fillet a flathead. And look at this is what your pile should look like. Meat, 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 belly meat, belly meat, belly meat, belly meat, nuggies, nuggies, rib strip, rib strip. That's what you should have when you're done cleaning a fish. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is rinse them, chunk them up into frying size. If you want to take care of them tonight, you can. I still got to go for a walk, so I'm just going to put them in a bowl of water and put them in the fridge. But that is how you clean a flathead. I'm going to text you this guy's videos, so just watch it, learn it, digest it, and you'll be good.